GM. Let me get a fresh chart here. GM. Make sure I'm recording. It is. Today is Sunday, 2nd of June. And let's take a look at the market. So, the first day of June was thoroughly uneventful for Bitcoin, just trading within the bands. And for ETH, bigger move on ETH. A nice little move up there. As ETH continues to strengthen, and ETH BTC moves towards a bullish cross on the weekly, which hasn't done yet. But I suspect it will at this point. ETFs going live. I don't think there's any actual date yet, but it's probably going to be at some point in June. All depends on those S1 forms that the SEC are waiting on the BlackRock, etc., to fill in. I know BlackRock submitted theirs again, so at some point this month we're going to see that. And I think a key feature of this month will be Ethereum, and will continue to be Ethereum. And that's something that will be covered on Monthly Preview as, the number one narrative really for the month. It should continue to be ETH. But you don't want to take your eyes off Bitcoin, of course, because a strong Bitcoin is a strong crypto market as a whole. And similarly, a weak Bitcoin is not good. So BTC just continues to really, consolidate. Not very bullish at this point in terms of any momentum. But the lowering volatility coupled with a strong Ethereum and going into summer, where there probably shouldn't be any major shocks ahead of the market, should allow Bitcoin to hold up here and drift higher. I suppose there's always opportunity for strange things to happen. With the whole Trump thing that's going on, that can lead to unexpected events in the market. That could be one, something random can happen. Something totally unexpected. Let me just double check. Yeah, and so if anything unexpected happens around the elections, which it seems like there's going to be a lot of stuff happening, during a summer period, that can actually introduce some volatility. And it would probably be volatility to the downside unless, I suppose you could equally say both ways, because obviously the risks are social unrest, societal unrest. You think about people who are Trump supporters or who believe that this is all like a scam and want to protest, and then fucking something goes wrong with protests. And you've seen all this stuff happen in the past, like in 2020, whenever people were protesting COVID and stuff like that. That didn't really affect the markets because there was so much money being printed. This is a bit different. This is a bit more like, you're trying to imprison a political candidate and basically, alienate half the population. So it's reasonable to expect something could kick off that's unexpected and random. Or at least you'd say it's unexpected. But what would that lead to in the markets for us, with crypto especially? It's impossible to tell. And the main thing is, the main point is, in a low volatility summer phase, it doesn't take much to spike it. So it could be on the downside if something weird happened. It could also be to the upside. So you've seen like the Trump coin, which is the perfect example of attention is all that matters. And the Trump coin itself is flying. If this thing loads, which just doesn't seem like it's going to load. Anyway. And there we go. Trump coin's flying, breaking out, grinding higher, following that sort of upward sloping grind that I talked about. And what's most important about this, or most interesting about this, is it didn't have any negative reaction. Bar a quick wick, it's bounced straight back up. And that's because if you look at the polls, and everything post fucking conviction for Trump. It's all up. He's more popular than he ever has been. There's more focus on him than there ever has been. And attention's really all that matters. So what could actually moon this, like that chart, but also crypto in general, would be something like, I don't even know how this would work, but if the prosecutors in New York decide to drop these charges or don't try and send them to jail for it, and it doesn't exclude him from the presidential race, whatever that would look like. I don't even know what that would look like, but any kind of news that says basically, okay, we've seen that the people don't agree with this decision and we're gonna, allow it to go away, whatever, it would be big. But that's all potential hypotheticals for later on. The only thing that matters really now is Bitcoin needs to be above 69, right? And ideally, like that 69.1, the old all-time high of 2021. It needs to be above there. If it's not, then it's not really bearish if the bands are holding. It's not really bearish if it's holding this dashed red line at 66 area. But it is bearish as soon as any of that gets lost, and short-term bearish at least. And the level that it hasn't been able to get above and hold above is that 69.1. So that's a must reclaim level. Otherwise, you can't call Bitcoin bullish. It's just not. Never has been. Anytime it's lost that level from all the way back in 2021, right, until now, anytime it gets above that level, it's unable to hold. It only held for a few days, another few days, another few days, and again, just really one day where it impulsed through it. Within 2 days, it was back below it, and then it was just chopping around it. So that's very clearly the level to flip. I think next time Bitcoin flips that, it's just away we go. But there's going to have to be some pretty strong impulse and catalyst to do that. And the market's full of them, so we'll see when they might come along. I'll talk more about that one in Weekly Outlook today as well. So we've got the weekly video coming. Monthly video will be coming soon as well for June. Looking ahead to how to play this summer period. Low volatility, but as for right now, Bitcoin not moving. Ethereum moved a little bit. Trump grinding higher. That's about all this weekend. See a large move on a poo there, 44%, but just because it was so badly beaten down, right? I drew this path out a while back. Once you lose that parabolic slope, it needs to go much, much lower. Now, it went all the way down to 0.04, which is good. Finally seeing some pain, as nobody had really suffered any pain, and all these new holders were getting themselves wiped out, or needed to get wiped out. And that might be the beginning, but I don't think so. I think there's a lot more to go down. As is true, by the way, for many meme coins. People just assuming that meme coins are going to continue to always be the best thing to trade and go up in this bull market are just going to feel pain. It's just a fact. Because if you were around in every other cycle we've ever had, this exact thing has happened. NFTs, everybody loved NFTs in April 2021. June, July, August 2021, there was literally nothing worse that you could possibly hold. And then they made a comeback in October, November, or some of them, new ones. And there's no reason to think that the low cap, risky, high beta asset, which used to be NFTs, now it's memes, it won't be any different. Why would it be? And that's it. Anyway, GM. And I'll see you later on the live stream.